Appreciate the chance to have seen part of the state today with you guys. Interesting campaign, obviously, and ups and downs and turbulence in a lot of ways, and that makes it fun. This is getting to the fun time when people are really focused and paying attention, and I'm pretty hopeful and, in fact, confident I'm going to do well here in Iowa and in New Hampshire, and we'll see how this goes. Today I've been talking a good deal, as you know, about illegal immigration. And the person who leads here in the polls right now in Iowa, Mike Huckabee, has a very different record in that than I do. At the same time, he was raising taxes in Arkansas. He was asking taxpayers to pay for in-state tuition breaks for illegals and to give scholarships to illegals. And the idea of raising taxes to give benefits to illegals is something I think that Republican voters will simply reject. With that, I'm happy to take questions you may have.
Governor, why did you and your campaign decide to release the Giuliani tape today of him on the radio talking about allowing illegal immigrants into undocumented status?
You know, I don't have the answer to that because I wasn't the one that released it. I'm on the trail. So let's see. Is this is this where he says? Let's see. That he's tolerant of illegal immigration. Right. I think it's probably because this is a Secure the Borders Illegal Immigration Day for me and my campaign, a message that we've been talking about today, and it underscores a very significant difference between myself and, in this case, Mayor Giuliani, and likewise myself and Mike Huckabee with regards to his record. Mayor Giuliani has already been quoted as saying, if you happen to be in undocumented status, we welcome you here in New York. And then he's also said that he's quite tolerant of illegal immigration. That's a very different posture than he communicates today in his ad. And I think it's helpful to remind folks what our records are. My record on illegal immigration was that I said no to driver's licenses. I vetoed a bill that would have given in-state tuition to illegal immigrants. I authorized our state police under 287G, I believe is the chapter, to enforce federal immigration law. And Mayor Giuliani took a very different course, and his expressing his view of tolerance to illegal immigration and welcoming illegal immigrants, I think, is the very kind of approach that led to 12 million people coming into this country illegally.
Governor Romney, how do you feel about your on-the-ground operation here in Iowa as it compares to Mr. Huckabee's?
You know, I don't know what the other campaign teams are like in terms of their organization. I think Gentry Collins is on the line here. He's been working long and hard. He said we've got to participate in the straw poll to build a strong base of volunteers and a network of folks who can help us when the big caucus day comes. We've committed fully to the Iowa process, and I think we've got a good, strong team, but I don't know whether someone else has one as strong or stronger. I think we got the best in the state, though. And from what I can tell and what I hear from people as I go across the state, I hear that folks are very impressed, that the grassroots teams, the number of precinct captains and county chairs is second to none. And I think Gentry's leadership and familiarity with people in this state, as well as the elected official support I have, gives me the kind of confidence I need. Leader Christopher Rance has been with me from the very beginning. Doug Gross and others have been critical in this process, and I think that's helped me build such a strong grassroots team.
Governor, what do you attribute Governor Huckabee's rise in the polls to here? You said that he's a nice guy. Is it mostly his personality, do you think, or is it a religious thing for a lot of people?
Well, we've had a number of surges. We started off with the McCain surge, and then people took a closer look, and that support waned. We had the Giuliani surge, and again, that's waned, although it took a lot longer for the Giuliani numbers to come down. Then we had the Fred Thompson surge, and I think in some respects people, if you will, project onto a candidate all of their hopes, and then they get to look at their record, and perhaps that falls a little short. I think we're experiencing the Huckabee surge right now, and I think as people take a closer look at his record, they'll come to a different conclusion. I think the more you learn about Mike Huckabee, the more you realize we don't know. And as you take a closer look, I think I'll be able to win this by the slow and steady progress, grassroots progress that I've been building over the last year.
So a quick follow-up to that. Governor Huckabee's been criticized for not having foreign policy experience. You were also a governor, so you didn't have direct foreign policy experience in that role. Do you think that you have more foreign policy experience than Governor Huckabee?
I won't compare us in terms of that experience, but I can tell you about my own. which is that I have done business in more than 20 countries around the world. I've lived outside the country. I have extensive experience negotiating and working on very difficult settings. I've also led the Olympics, which has a very heavy component, of course, of international relations. And I'm a relatively quick study and a thorough study, and would surround myself with extraordinarily capable people, which is something I've done throughout my career. I can assure you that simply becoming elected as a senator does not make you a foreign policy expert, a great negotiator, or a person skilled in solving tough problems. And some of the best foreign policy leaders in our nation's history have been governors like Ronald Reagan, who by virtue of his skill as a leader and a skill in bringing together brilliant people and listening to them and working with them in an effective way, allowed him to do what a lot of people talked about doing for a long time, and that was winning the Cold War.
Governor Huckabee recently apologized to you for comments you made on your LDS faith. Do you think that puts the issue to rest? And do you think that was an honest apology on behalf of Governor Huckabee?
I accepted his apology. I take it as an honest apology. I can't begin to tell you what the impact will be of various comments that have been made about faith in this campaign. I do believe that it's entirely appropriate for candidates to talk about their differences on issues, the differences in their track record, but I think when people start attacking another person's faith, it's completely out of bounds. And I think the people of Iowa and the nation will ultimately reject a campaign based upon faith alone. You don't elect someone because of their faith, you don't reject someone because of their faith, and I think you're going to see people focus on issues, focus on values, focus on experience and vision, and I hope on that basis I win.
Sir, is there a candidate in this race who has a campaign based on faith alone?
No.
What's your campaign done to reach out to young voters, get them involved in this election?
Well, I've had a lot of events at colleges and universities, and I intend to continue to do so. I've spoken at colleges and universities, have done a number of these Ask Me Anything type forums, and believe that this is a good setting for me to make contact with young folks. And of course, our grassroots teams are largely populated by some pretty young folks who are drawing out their friends. And so I think we're doing our best to get connected with young people in the state. I think that's part of the group that'll be there for me on January 3rd.
What do you think?
Governor, it's not meant to be a trick question, but can you explain how the caucuses work on caucus day?
I wouldn't begin to try and do that. So I'm going to let others lay that out for you. You know that better than I do, Mark. We begin at 7 o'clock in the evening. It's going to take about an hour. You're going to have people from each campaign or from supporters of each campaign get up and speak in favor of the candidates. There are about 1,000 polling places, and we hope to have most, if not all of them, covered with people who will be out there speaking on my behalf. And then we expect to have the votes cast and then counted, and then I win.
One quick question. How do you plan to spend the following days? Christmas, New Year's Day, and Caucus Day?
Caucus Day, I anticipate going around from caucus site to caucus site and seeing as many places as I can and encouraging as many people to participate in the process. Christmas I'll spend with my family in Belmont, and New Year's Day, I don't know. I haven't seen the schedule for New Year's Day yet.
Governor, you said that you don't think that any candidates are running on religion of their own, but obviously Governor Huckabee is pushing his faith and campaigning on it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's running on religion alone. I do think that Governor Huckabee, in running an ad that says Christian leader, is clearly drawing attention to his faith. And I don't know that that's been done before in recent American history where someone advertises their faith. I think people welcome people of faith, but I don't think the particular denomination of faith is the basis upon which Americans choose their candidate. I don't think we choose a president based on what church they go to. I think that we recognize, as I said in my speech in a College Station, that if you become president of the United States, you're going to have to draw on the prayers of people of all faiths, and we're best to pursue a course of religious tolerance and liberty.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.